What first was a normal ultrasound examination suddenly took a dramatic turn. The doctor noticed something worrying on the monitor. At first, he didn't want to believe what he was seeing, but after a closer look, he had no choice. Lauren and David Perkins were a happily married couple. After years of courtship and romance, they decided to tie the knot and unify their lives with the sacred vow of marriage. Like most married couples, the Perkins tried to conceive for years. Unfortunately, all of their attempts failed. After losing hope in natural conceiving, they decided to opt for artificial insemination. Thankfully, this time their attempt worked. Laura was finally pregnant and their family was getting complete after they almost lost hope. The day of the first ultrasound was here and the expected parents were over the moon. They were finally going to hear their little baby's heartbeat. It was all smiles and laughters, until it was not. Lauren, in one of her interviews with Today magazine, said that she had always wanted to have 2 children, preferably a boy and a girl. Ideally, they'd be about 2 to 3 years. As you will see for yourself, not everything went as planned. The Perkins, even after many months of attempts at pregnancy, were faced with nothing but negative tests. Eventually, they came to conclude that there was something wrong with them. To top it off, both their families were waiting for the grandchild who just couldn't be conceived. After months of no pregnancy being recorded, they discussed whether it was time to let their families in on what they were going through or not. Since they weren't even sure of what was going on, they decided not to initiate their family for the time being. Letting everyone know of their struggles would only mean more pressure than the one they've been crushed under. However, keeping their struggles secret only ate them up internally, eventually affecting their own relationship. Despite their unsuccessful attempts at conceiving, they didn't give up on starting a family of their own and decided to look for other options before they lost hope for good. The Perkins decided to seek help from a specialist, since despite their attempts and the use of home remedies and a change in diet did nothing. After quite an intensive search, the couple finally decided on a specialist in artificial insemination and booked an appointment. The doctor carried out a variety of tests on both of them and gave them the possible subsequent treatments. However, all of the new information they were showered with in addition to the extremely high cost of the procedure overwhelmed them. They decided to give it a thought before they proceeded further. The other great decision the Perkins had to make was to let their family and friends know about their fertility issues. After a long wait, they finally told their family about their complicated situation. Once they clarified things with their loved ones, it was time to decide on which treatment they should go for. The couple wanted to take a little more time and thoroughly research the problem before moving on to any medical treatments and surgeries. Because of her difficult situation and the constant heartbreaks from receiving only negatives, Lauren ended up struggling with severe depression. Her days were all gloomy and dark, and she struggled to even get out of bed some days. Luckily for her, both her loving parents support her in this difficult situation. David, her husband, was only a great supporter during her low times. He'd often make her breakfast in bed, prepare full buffets and great meals to cheer his wife a little. Thankfully for them, things were soon going to take a turn, a good one. After struggling with infertility for over a year, Lauren and David were both in a dark period of their lives. To lighten things a little and change the weather, the couple decided to join a mission trip in Nicaragua. A local priestess told them that God had a great plan for them. They just needed to keep faith and wait for his surprise. Even though they didn't take the priestess' words to heart, the couple saw a glimpse of hope in her words and decided to try again. The couple took their decision and decided to go further with artificial insemination. They were trying to conceive both naturally and via IUI treatment. When the doctor placed the needle in Lauren's hip, David almost fainted. Only when the doctor had finished the treatment did David breathe normally. However, the chance that the IUI would work was just 25%, so they knew that their dream of becoming parents was still fragile. Luckily this time, life was on their good side. After a few weeks, Lauren took a pregnancy test and found out she was pregnant. It was the most beautiful moment in her life. When David found out, he was over the moon. However, things would soon take another turn. You see, Lauren's hormone levels were unusually high, which could indicate an anomaly during pregnancy. Her unusual hormone levels could also be a mole pregnancy. A mole pregnancy is when a non-cancerous tumor spreads in the uterus. Unfortunately, this was the case with Lauren. After numerous examinations, they immediately arranged an ultrasound appointment. Like all parents, Laura and David got the fright of their lives when the doctor told them that they were expecting their first set of triplets. However, this wasn't all good news. Due to lack of space in the womb, the nutrient and blood supply for all babies cannot be guaranteed. The couple was presented with the possibility of aborting some fetuses in order to give the others a better chance of survival. It goes without saying that the couple refused the procedure. Despite all the risks involved, Lauren and David decided to keep the babies. The weight of Laura's abdomen increasingly caused her backache and foot pain. Walking long distances became more and more of a torment for her, and soon enough, just getting out of bed became a great struggle she'd need help with every morning. The Perkins were preparing for the birth of their 6 babies when Laura suddenly went into labor. Since she was going to deliver 6 babies, a C-section was needed. The delivery went smoothly, and the couple became parents of 3 beautiful boys and 3 adorable girls. After a single pregnancy of 30 weeks, the newborns weighed between 737 and 1,332 grams. Even though the circumstances were quite special, the birth went smoothly, Lauren reported. The Perkins were finally able to hold their 6 children for the first time. After 4 months, the siblings were finally able to go home, and the whole family was united. Lee, the last baby to be born, had to fight harder than her other siblings. She remained tough and persevered. Thankfully, the operation went well, and soon Lee was on her way home. The Perkins were overwhelmed by the support they received during the entire process. Many also helped with the house preparations for the additional care of baby Lee. The first Christmas for the Perkins pack of 6 tuplets was spent with their parents in their warm and cozy home. The 6 siblings were healthy and all seemed to have a unique bond. Lauren decided to share about her experience as a mother of sixlings by opening a blog called Perkins 6-Pack. In her blog, she describes the special everyday life as a mom of 6 children, the hustle, the struggle, and the joy of having a house filled with children's laughter. Today, the 6 pieces are 7 years old, healthy and happy. The names of the pack are Nathan, Brandon, Natalie, Alexis, Kelsey, Joel, and Kenny Jr. The Perkins pack do everything together, from playing games to signing loud to their favorite songs. They are a ball of energy that spreads joy wherever they go, and their parents are the most grateful for having such life-loving children. They waited for long months before they could have their dream made true, 3 times what they first asked for. So don't lose hope. Your dream awaits you in the corner. Just be a little patient.